Okay, so we're here today with this 2000 Expedition. It has a bad ball joint, or a tie rod end, passenger side outer, and a U-joint. So join me on this little expedition. Oh shit, I dropped the camera. Okay, so first thing we're going to do here is take off the wheel, and then we'll be removing the cotter pin and castle nut right there. Okay, got tire and wheel off. Now we're going to remove this old rusty crusty cotter pin. Maybe a little bit of a trick. So, let's put that one off there. Time out. Let me go get a pick. Alright, as you can see, we've removed our cotter pin and castle nut. Now, when I started trying to remove the cotter pin, it was all rusty. So I basically just broke it off, and I took it off with the impact. Anyway, the impact took it right off and just broke that rusty cotter pin right out. You never know what kind of luck you might have with this sort of thing, so the results may vary. Now you take a pickle fork, stall in there, going that way. Oh look, I'm out already, didn't even really realize it. But we have a problem. The ball joint actually broke. Let's see here. Maybe, just maybe. We'll be right back, folks. 1-2 punch, maybe. I'm gonna first try to hit it with my little propane torch. Let's see if I can get this little rubber off of here. Might be easier just to cut that off. It's got a little bit of rain, but that's fine. We get the rubber off of there. Look at all that crap. Solidified grease and rust and stuff. Okay. Well, whatever. At least blows it off of there. Hopefully I don't have to go get another bigger pickle fork, which is probably going to be the case, but I'll try to cheat it a little bit. Okay. I always have a fire extinguisher or can of ether handy to put out your fire. Note, if you are dumb enough to try to put out a fire with a can of ether, I am not responsible. I'll try to get this surrounding area here good and hot. All the way around. tap at a time too. There you have it, folks. Started to grab that. Okay. Next step, you're going to break loose your jam nut here at the adjusting sleeve, and then completely unscrew your tie rod in. Now, if you were going to be reinstalling the same tie rod in, you would want to mark it with some kind of soapstone or chalk or a Sharpie or fingernail polish or whatever you have. But since you're going to be reinstalling it with a different part, about the best you could do is measure from center to outside of the nut here possibly, or count your thread turns. I personally, I believe I'm going to measure from center to edge to give me a little bit of a alignment correctability there. Okay folks, we'll be right back. Okay, one thing I should note, I should have cracked this jam nut loose before I broke the ball joint out of the hub. Two things I could do. One, I could either try to reassemble the ball joint, stick the ball back in the cap, back in the cup, and back into the spindle assembly here, or I could just simply try to hold the end of the tie rod with a pipe wrench, which is probably what I might end up doing. All right, that's just wanted to make note of that. All right, so what I did is just held the adjusting sleeve with a pipe wrench and cracked the jam nut loose after putting the ball back in the cup and sticking it back in here, which, as you can see, it tried to peel off again. But either way, now we're on to the next step. I'm going to go ahead and pop this off and turn this out. Now I measured from center of ball joint to center of the, or to the edge of the jam nut, and I should have 4 1/8 inches. So that's just the way I did it. Good morning to you too, sir. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, or 4:30, or whatever in the world it is. I like this one here. This is a greasable one and everything. Say hello to Chicken Leg. Okay, I got it dead on. Well, actually, it's like 3 7/8 inches. Was that you or the dog? Youngin's over here letting loose the friendly fire.
It's not friendly, it's deadly. Ooh, yeah.
I went with the cheapest ball joint, or cheapest tie rod in I could, and I found that with the same thing with the U joints, universal joints, is that the cheaper ones actually come with a grease fitting. Okay, so let's see. I got 3 7/8. That's about, that'll be about right by the time I run that in there. I don't know if I have enough to back it off one more turn. Huh. Close enough, perfect. Go ahead and stab her on home. Get her in, get her in. I'll tighten her up from there. Let's see here. I do not recommend doing it this way. Never, ever, ever. But I'm going to do it this way today. You will tighten your castle nut down there. Castle nut and reinstall your cotter pin. Your new one should come with your new U-joint or your new tie rod here. You ain't got to record all this. This is ridiculous. Cotter pin's installed. Been around so it won't come back to the castle nut. And we have the grease fitting installed. Now we're going to go ahead and tighten our jam nut at the adjusting sleeve. Reinstall your tire and wheel, you're good to go.